Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If I sound defeated, it is because this will be the second take trying to film this video. I filmed two videos. I filmed this eye look and I filmed my Panthoseeyeshadows eyeshadow update, only to realize that the cord connecting the microphone to my camera was not connected. The microphone connected to the computer is fine, so the microphone is, you know, the good little red light indicating that you have power to the microphone is on, but alas, not the other cord. So, fuck my life, here it is. We are doing this video again. I am doing this the Panthoseeyeshadows eyeshadows project pan, and this is my favorite project pan. Not my favorite to re-record it, but I love this project pan because it allows me to work on shadows that would otherwise maybe be forgotten in my huge ass eyeshadow collection. And I am working on 6 shades at a time. I handpick one shade and the rest of the 5 shades, or the rest of the shades, are randomly selected from my entire collection. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about the old shades. This is the old color story. Then I will put when I randomize the shades, so you see, like the recording will have some joyful music on top of it. And then I will talk about the new eyeshadows I have generated. So, this is an old project pan created by Alexi. She doesn't upload anymore, and like it has taken its own kind of. Everyone who's doing this project is doing it their own way. As I said, I'm working on 6 shades, and the goal is to hit pan, but I can also opt to roll something out when I have used the shade 20 times. If I roll a black shade or a pressed glitter, I can roll that shade out after only 10 uses if I so want to. There is nothing stopping me using these shades however much I want, you know. But we gotta keep it fresh. And this is a super, super, super exciting update. I am so thrilled to share with you the progress. So, as I said, this was the color story. It's very cohesive, very like neutral and green, and if you have watched me, you know that I love my greens. So let's talk about this first shade here. It's this shimmer dark green blue shade, and ironically that one comes from the Tribe by Juvia's place. I have like over 3,500 eyeshadows, I think, in my collection, and the odds of generating a shade just after I rolled a shade out from this palette, what are the odds? So I was working on a different shade in the beginning of the year, and then last update I enrolled, I think it was last update, 2 updates ago, I enrolled the shade Cuba, which is this dark shade here. And I have used Cuba 15 times since rolling it in. I mainly used it as my eyeliner. I also sometimes use it on the lower lash line, but mainly use it as an eyeliner. And after 15 uses, this is what the palette is looking like. So you can see that I was able to hit the shiny little pan, and the reason why that dip is so focused is, as I said, because I used an eyeliner brush. So I am so happy to have this one out. This is not the favorite shade, a favorite shade for me, not a favorite shade in this palette, but it is looking more loved, which is very exciting. Also, if you're wondering what's on my eyeballs, I am playing with the Titanium Foxes Poppy Quiet palette. I also recorded this eye look, but alas, we do not have any sound, so I will have to make another eye look tomorrow and talk about that this palette then. You should definitely check out that video when it's up. I mean, I love this eye look. It is so stinking beautiful. So that is a hint about what I think about this palette. Right, moving on. This other gold shade below, the first one, is from my Oden's Eye Hey Reindeer palette. This was from their Christmas release last year, so it is a very new palette in my collection. And Christmas Stockings, which is the shade name, was not used that much. This is the second update I think this is in. And I have used Christmas Stockings 15 times since the last, since I rolled it in. And this is what we are currently looking like. So you can see that shiny, shiny pan. I did pan like a similar shade to this one from my Angelica Nyqvist Trick or Treat palette, and I think it took like 14 times. So 14, 15 times for a pretty brand new Oden's eyeshadow until I hit pan seems to be the case. This is a very nice shade, but oh my god, the fallout. It was like glitter everywhere. Oh, I hinted something. I had glitter everywhere on my cheeks and it was just crazy. So definitely use a glitter glue for that shade. It was quite intense. I feel like I'm not really focused, centered. So that one is also rolling out. Then below that one we have a very pretty silvery pink shade. This is called First Dance and it comes from my Klarity Cosmetics Bridal Party palette. This is a very, very, very beautiful neutral palette with a twist, and I think the name is very fitting. Bridal Party, it feels very weddingy. So last update I told you about the little accident. This there was one shade, like a very dark blue-green shade that imploded. It got this crater, and when I tried to like save it, it just fell out everywhere. So unfortunately that means that all of the rest of the shades in this palette now have like a rim of blue, because it was just a super big mess. But since rolling First Dance in, I have used it 21 times, so more than my opting out number amount of times. And this is what we are looking like now. So you can see I was able to hit pan. These pans are very, very deep, I tell you. This is the shade that fell out. And you can see that we have some blue like covering each shadow, which is such a shame. But yeah, this is rolling out. This also had intense fallout. It's just such small glitter particles that just rained down on my cheeks. So this is also necessary to have like a glitter glue or like a very gripping primer. Alright, then we have this blue kind of mid shade in the middle. This one is called Togo and it's from another Juvia's Place palette. This is the Afrique palette. This shade is just kind of lackluster. It's a blue satiny. It doesn't have that much oomph and metallicness to it. This is not a new palette by any means, so I already had some use on this shade Togo, and since rolling it in I have used it 8 times, and this is what we're looking like. So I was able to hit pan very, very quickly on this shade, and yeah, it still performs. I mean, the mattes are really, really nice, and this gold down here is also very pretty. So I think it's not because of age, it's just because we have gotten used to extreme indie shades, you know, with a big punch, and it's just older, so it did not have that formulation. Indie shadows formulations have been sprinting by Juvia's Place. Alright, the next shade here is my handpicked shade, and that one comes from my Made by Mitchell. So my current eyeshadow panning goal is to hit pan in all of my Made by Mitchell shadows. Last year my goal was to hit pan in all of my Juvia's Place shadows. And I have 2 of these big, or I have 3, but 2 of these big ass palettes don't have pan. So I want to use them more because they have been neglected last year. This is the Feet on the Ground palette, and I enrolled this shade Bored in the House don't know what that shade name, why this shade name. Anyways, and I have been using this to deepen up my looks, and also as a liner. I have used it in my brows, so I do find many ways to utilize this shade. And it didn't have much use last, or when I roll it in. And this is what we're looking like. So you can see that we have a humongous dip, but we do not have pan yet. I think pan will be here very soon. I have used this like so many times. I have used it 21 times since rolling it in last update. So that's quite a lot. But I'm gonna keep it in because I want, as I said, to hit pan in my Made by Mitchell palettes. What goal should I have after that one? What brand should I aim to hit pan in all of my palettes from? If you have any suggestions, leave it in the comments. But I need to figure out a new brand. Maybe my Lurella, or my Moira shadows, or my Lethal shadows. I don't know. Feel free to give suggestions. Finally, down here we have this brown there's like a little green flip to it. It is this shade Jones from my Martine Cosmetics Mission XXX palette. This is a very nice cool tone green palette. I love green eyeshadow, if you couldn't tell by the Made by Mitchell palette. I got this for Christmas by my boyfriend, I think 2 Christmases ago. And Jones had a little use, but not that much. Since rolling it in, I have used Jones 15 times. I mainly used it on my lower lashes, but I also took like a big brush and put it next to board in the house, and then on the inner corner I had Christmas stockings or first dance, so that was like a way to use many of the shades from this project. And this is what we're looking like now. So hopefully you can see on Jones there that we do have a shiny pan, which is so exciting. I do love to see use in all of my palettes, and yeah, this is also rolling out. So as I said, we have a fucking amazing update. We are rolling out 5 shades, and all of those are the ones that were randomly generated. So we are going to generate 5 new shades. Now I will put up when I generated the shades, so you can see that, you know, this is actually the case. I do not want to generate new shades. I'm just gonna stick with the color story that we got. So, without further ado, here is me generating my new eyeshadows to work on. Okay, so we have an interesting new color story. This is what we are looking like this month, and yeah, it's quite a leap from where we were. And let me talk you through all of the shades. So this first shade, of course, is from the Made by Mitchell. It's the board in the house. I'm not gonna talk a lot about that one. This next shade is like this dusty lavender shade, and that one comes from my GlossGods Lavender Skies palette. This is a super pretty palette. I think they released it last year, and yeah, it's a beautiful matte. Does it go with the rest of these shades? No, but it is fun nonetheless. It is the shade Picture Perfect, and this is what the palette looks like. And Picture Perfect is this shade down here. Now, in this project, I want to treat it as a no pan left behind also. So I'm not just gonna focus on this shade. I am going to utilize all of the shades. Unless like one of the shades is very similar to any of these. Now, this is not the case here, but it might be in the rest of the shades. But anyways, I always do that. So the palettes that I'm rolling out, I have also used basically all of them, no palette left behind. So, super happy to be playing around with this one, and then I generated something very close to it. I only got high numbers this time for some reason. This is the color of the rain. It's also by GlossGods, and they released these two in the same release. It's their sky themed collection. This is an all shimmer palette but one black matte at the end, and we generated the shade Light Break. So this is what the palette looks like, and Light Break is this one here. It is absolutely stunning. It only looks like pink, but on my hand, I don't know if you will be able to see, it has a very clear green flip to it. I don't know if you will be able to see that. Maybe if I do like that. It is so stunning, and yeah, I'm so happy to be playing around with all of the shades here. I have a GlossGods palette in a different project pan, in my Pan Your Book project pan, and it has been such a joy. Their shimmer formula is really spectacular. So that is the second shade. Then moving on to this dark and very vibrant corner down here. This first shade is from my Clarity Cosmetics Aloha palette, and the shade is called Tropic Like It's Hot. Love Clarity Cosmetics puns in their shade names. And yeah, Tropic Like It's Hot is this neon or very intense orange shade, and this is what the palette looks like. So it does look a bit washed out here, but you can see on my hand it is a lot brighter than it looks in pan. Now, I just rolled out first dance, so I know that Clarity Cosmetics pans are very deep. So I highly doubt that I will be able to roll out this shade after 20 uses. I don't think that will happen. And this is what I'm talking about, like reaching for the entire palette. We do have a lavender here, and we also have a red shade quite similar to the one on my hand. So I will use as many shades as I feel like is appropriate, but I might skip over the ones that are very similar to the ones on my in this project. So that is Tropic Like It's Hot. Then we have what is looking like a black shade. This is actually like a black with blue glitter particles in, and that one comes from my Glamlight and Kellogg's Frosted Flakes palette. This is what that shade is looking like. It's called Tiger Stripes, and you can clearly see those glitter bits, but those are ones that will kind of fall off when you add it to the eyes. Now, I said that I had the option to roll it out because this is a matte black after 10 uses. I'm gonna try and see if I want to keep it in for longer after 10 uses, because this has been severely neglected in my collection last year. So I just want to play around with this palette as a whole. So I think that I might aim to hit pan on this shade. I have been doing a lot more eyeliner this year than I have done previously, so I will be able to use this as an eyeliner and to deepen up my eye looks. So we shall see. But that is Tiger Stripes. And then finally, this dark red here is from my Trick or Treat palette by Odeney in collaboration with Angelica Nyqvist. This was their Halloween release. She released 2 palettes, and unfortunately, this is the second time this palette is in this project this year. It would have been better to generate from the other palette, because that hasn't gotten as much love from me. But here we are. We are using the same palette, so this is the shade Candy Apple, and it's a very intense red. Don't know if I will be able to hit pan after 20 uses on this red either. It is the one up here. This is Full Moon, which I had in previously, and this is the one I was talking about hitting pan after 14 uses. But yeah, it's a different story with the mattes So we are probably not going to hit pan, and this is also the story, like I probably won't reach for this orange when I have this orange. So try to use all of the shades, but with some exceptions. Anyways, that is it. What do you think about the new color story? I mean, it's kind of like where we are weather-wise, because we still have, it's very cold up here, so these are more cool tones, but we are moving into some, you know, slowly but surely moving into spring here. It's not quite here yet, but I'm very happy to be playing around with these palettes. As I said, I only enrolled like palettes with high numbers this time, which means that they are newer in my collection. But that is gonna wrap it up for this video. Please say hi in the comments. I'd love to hear from you, and yeah, as I said, let me know what you think about the colors that we are working on. And yeah, I hope the sound will work this time. Fingers crossed. Otherwise, I think I might just go out and drown myself. But hopefully it will work out. So that is it for me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!